let's talk about something you probably never think about. How do you safely connect those massive cables that power our world? Well, today, we're diving right into the hidden tech that makes it all possible. We've got a classic showdown on our hands, the tried and true veteran, heat shrink, taking on the modern challenger, cold shrink. Let's get into it. So, just picture this for a second. You've got a single cable, and it's carrying enough juice to power an entire city block, maybe a hospital. How do you possibly connect that thing safely? I mean, this is not like wiring a lamp in your living room. The stakes are incredibly high, and failure is absolutely not an option. To really understand these two technologies, we first have to get our heads around the fundamental problem they're designed to solve. What is the challenge here? You know, this is about so much more than just connecting a wire from point A to point B. The real mission here is to create a totally bulletproof barrier. We're talking about a fortress that can insulate against massive electrical stress and completely seal out moisture, dirt, and literally anything else the environment can throw at it. Okay, first up, let's talk about the long-standing champion in this industry, the heat shrink method. This has been the go-to, the gold standard for decades. So how does this stuff actually work? Well, imagine a specially designed plastic tube. At room temperature, its molecular structure is held in place by these tiny little crystals. But when you hit it with heat, those crystals melt and the material just snaps back to its original, much smaller size, shrinking down super tight around the cable. And when you look at the actual process, you see right away that this is a job that requires real skill. An installer has to carefully position every single component, then apply perfectly even heat with a torch to shrink it all down. As it shrinks, these special adhesives on the inside activate to create that final, critical environmental seal. And now, let's bring in the challenger, cold shrink. This is a true innovation because it completely changes the game. It gets rid of the most difficult and, frankly, the most dangerous part of the whole process, the open flame. The whole idea behind cold shrink can be summed up in this one phrase, a living seal. Just think about that for a second. It's not a static, one-and-done kind of seal. Nope, it's a dynamic barrier that actually breathes and adapts with the cable for its entire life. So instead of that rigid plastic, cold shrink uses a super elastic material, something like silicone rubber. It actually shows up from the factory already stretched out over a plastic core. And the material's memory, its natural desire to shrink back down, is what does all the work. All that energy is just stored up, waiting to be released. The installation is, well, it's remarkably simple. You just slide the whole thing onto the cable, get it into position, and then you pull this little ripcord that unwinds the inner core. As that core comes out, the rubber sleeve instantly shrinks, gripping the cable with this constant, uniform pressure. No torch, no waiting for adhesives to cure, just a perfect seal in seconds. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we've met our two contenders. Now it's time to put them side by side. Let's see how they really stack up across the categories that matter most. All right, let's break it down. We're going to compare everything from installation and safety to the type of seal you get and how they perform under pressure. And as you're about to see, the differences are pretty significant. Let's really zoom in on installation because this is a huge differentiator. With heat shrink, you need an open flame out in the field. That means getting special hot work permits, and there's always a real risk of fire. Cold shrink just completely eliminates that hazard. So it's not just faster, it is fundamentally safer for everyone involved. And what about the seal itself? This part is so important. A heat shrink seal becomes hard and rigid once it cools down, and it has to rely on glue to keep moisture out. But that cold shrink seal, that's our living seal we keep talking about. It stays flexible and puts continuous pressure on the cable, literally expanding and contracting as the cable heats up and cools down with the electrical load. It breathes with the cable. Now, let's talk about the money, because that always matters, right? If you just look at the sticker price, yeah, heat shrink kits are usually cheaper to buy off the shelf. But that's not the whole story. When you start to factor in the cost of labor, things change. Because cold shrink is so much faster and easier to install, the total installed cost, the price of the kit plus the cost of labor, is often way lower. Okay, so with all of this information on the table, how do you actually choose the right tech for the job you're doing? This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Which one is actually the superior technology? Well, like with most things in the world of engineering, the real answer is, it totally depends on the application. So, where does cold shrink really shine? Well, think about hazardous environments like a mine or a refinery, where an open flame is an absolute no go. It's the only real choice there. Or in high vibration areas like next to rail lines, its flexible seal is just far superior. And in places with insane temperature swings, like a wind farm, that living seal is absolutely essential for long term reliability. Let's just look at that cost argument one more time, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Sure, the initial product cost for heat shrink is lower. You can see that clear as day. But when you factor in the time, the labor, the whole shebang, the equation flips. Cold shrink's efficiency often makes it the smarter economic choice for the total project. Now, it is really important to remember that we're not comparing a good technology to a bad one here. That's not the case at all. Both heat shrink and cold shrink are proven, super reliable solutions. They are rigorously tested to meet some really tough international standards. When they're installed correctly by a skilled professional, they both do their job, and they do it very well. So all of this brings us to one final thought. As our world becomes more and more electrified, we're talking more renewables, more electric cars, more demand for reliability, the pressure on every single component in the grid just keeps increasing. The choice between a static, rigid seal and a dynamic, living one, well, it's not just a technical detail anymore. It's a strategic decision about the future. So the question is, which technology do you think will be the one to power it?